There's two secrets to healing your mind that nobody ever teaches counselors. And the consequences of this are not only will the person you're trying to help not get better, but it could actually hurt them and make them worse. And even if you're not trying to help somebody like in a counseling profession like I am, if you just have a friend who won't take your advice, I'm promising you these two things will make all the difference. And they are slow pace and consent. But let me explain how this works. I'm going to use a metaphor here. Imagine you're trying to teach somebody how to split a bill among friends at a restaurant. And you say, well, it's easy. You just get the check, add 20% for tip, and then split it among your three friends. But you didn't realize that the person you're talking to doesn't understand basic math, or maybe hasn't ever been to a restaurant before. So you have to slow your pace and say, well, when you go to a restaurant, and you're finished with your meal, you kind of stick your hand in the air and wave, and the waiter will come over and you say, hey, can I get the check? They're going to go in the back, get a small piece of paper, and at the bottom of that paper is a large number. And that number is your total. And so you continue from there. You see, when people communicate, they often assume that the person they're talking to has all the same information that's in their head. And I'm sure you've made this mistake, and perhaps your counselor has made this mistake too. And so they're giving you all the right tools, but they're not slowing down the pace to share all the details along the way. And it's a huge problem in communication. But even more important than this, because you can't get to this tip until you understand consent. And consent looks funny when it's in counseling or when you're trying to help a friend who's struggling emotionally. You have to start with basic premises. So when I'm trying to tell somebody you need to cut off your toxic ex, you can't just say, cut off your toxic ex, it'll make you happier. You have to say, well, what does a relationship mean to you? Is a relationship something where you both are happy, or is it okay for just your ex to be happy and not you? And they say, well, I think we should both be happy in a relationship. Okay. Well, based on that, you're going to have some conflict with your partner. Would you agree? And you see, I'm asking for consent all along the way. And then they start in with something about like, well, I can't do that because, there's this other problem at work and my boss is a total jerk. So I can't concentrate on the conflict over here because I'm having conflict over here. Okay. Let's start with consent. Can you fix all of your problems all at once? No. So then does it make sense for us to kind of ignore the problems at work just for a minute so we can focus on this conversation with your ex because it's a bigger situation in your life than the one at work? Yeah? Okay. So if we're in agreement, then we're going to start here. We're going to say that you have to have some positive conflict with this partner that you're having an issue with. By getting consent and slowing down the pace, you eliminate all of the obstacles, all of the yeah, buts, or no, I don't agree in the situation because you're making sure that you agree on all the foundational points in order to get to the conclusion. Man, if you've had a counselor who didn't understand this and then you quit therapy because you just weren't making progress, I'm sorry. I would love to hear your story, and I'd love to know, have you seen this work, and how do you think this would affect your life?